Brothers are proud to present SBB Pit Mob, featuring your everyday backyard barbecue pit boss and grill master, asking the questions on their rise to backyard barbecue greatness.
All right, welcome back, fans. Here, another special edition where we a segment of the Super Smoke Bros in which we really reach out to guys and gals, everyday people that have their smoking journey, their barbecue journey, and we are very excited for our guest today. The gentleman's name is Tony Marcetti. He's out of Michigan. And he is the founder of the face group of Smoking Barbecue. And I've starting to get to know him, and I can't wait for this interview. His wealth of knowledge, and he's smoking bacon right now, and making blueberry toppings and all this stuff. So I just can't wait to learn from him. And I know the group that he has on Facebook is phenomenal. Tons of great tips. People are so great on there. I'm a member of it. And so I'm so happy to have you, Tony. Welcome to the Super Smoke Bros podcast. And I'm going to start off right away with question number one. So let's roll, baby. So Tony, everyone has a story, and I just getting to talk to you before this, I am so excited to hear this story. All right, can you share your story in the world of barbecue and smoking meats?
How did I start?
Yeah, your story. What's your story?
Oh, yeah. 30 years ago, I asked, my sister asked me, what did I want for Christmas? And I said, I want a smoker. For Christmas, she bought me a Brickman electric smoker. And I read up on it. And I did a turkey. And it came out so good, it looks like it should have been in a Norman Rockwell painting. So what I did after that, Stephen Riken has a book called Project Smoke.
Oh, okay.
That is the Bible of smoking.
Wow. I wrote that down. I'm going to get it.
Yeah, that is definitely. So I bought this book and I read it from cover to cover a couple times. After that, I bought a stick burner. And that's when it all started. I started out with my first smoke was pork butt, pulled pork.
Nice.
And I says, okay, how can I get better? Let's go to Facebook.
Yep.
I joined a couple of groups on Facebook, and I saw how everybody argued with everybody and all this other stuff. So I says, well, let's take it one step further, and I started my own Facebook group. Smoking Barbecue.
Yeah.
And from there on, it took off. After 5 years, we just pulled about 11,600 members.
Yeah. I was looking at that. It's crazy. It's awesome. And I really like your bylaws for it and stuff like that. How, everyone is very curious of each other. They're always sharing information, but you also give Sunday where, hey, if you want to throw things out there, and stuff like that, here Sundays, that's a day for it. And that's awesome, because we don't make money on our podcast. We're not trying to make money, but I wanted to get it out there so I could bring gentlemen like you or ladies, right, from the group in, and just let's just talk about smoking barbecue and get it out to people so they can listen. So that is good story. Yeah, that's electric smoker is the only thing I don't have in my arsenal yet. So, but the stick burner is it's definitely an art for sure.
Yeah.
So
the reason why our group stands different from all the other ones is during the week you only post what you smoke, or barbecue, or all the side dishes and all the booze that you drink. None of that other stuff. Sunday, I give my members a day to lose their mind and post whatever they want to, and that's why we stand out amongst all the other groups. Anyway, what you got for me next?
Yeah. So moving on here, kind of 30 years barbecuing. Wow. What is your favorite thing to smoke, and why?
It's a toss up between pork butt and ribs. Ribs, I like to smoke them first, and then finish them off over direct charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
That way you get the best of both worlds. You get the smoke flavoring and that unbeatable charcoal flavoring with a little bit of char at the end.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's great. That char at the end is
yeah, I mean, you can't beat anything that's cooked over direct charcoal. So I try to incorporate both of them at the same time to get the
here
best of both worlds.
definitely I agree with you. Yeah. There's something to be said about that charcoal at the end. There really
Yeah,
is. It really is. And that's something I've just learned recently and just I will never go back. Is
yeah.
so here's a question. This is kind of off script a little bit. Do you put sauce on your ribs or you just eat it or no sauce?
I sauce them up in the end,
Yep. Okay.
and there's times where I'll do ribs over direct charcoal through the entire cook.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm in the mood, I'll sauce the hell out of them. But the proper way is not to have as much sauce because too much of a good thing takes away the flavor, takes
Mm-hmm.
away, you know.
Yep. No, I agree.
So,
I always ask that because some people won't, put sauce on theirs. Some
yeah,
do. I do it both ways. My
yeah,
daughters love sauce, and I slap it on at the end and try to
yeah.
caramelize it a little bit. So
For the most part, I give it at the very end just a light dusting of sauce for the
okay,
most part.
awesome. So moving on, Tony, can you recall a time when your smoke didn't turn out? And can you maybe for our listeners, can you explain how like you adjusted to that to make it better next time, or what you learned from it?
And it didn't turn out.
Mhm.
When I got my first stick burner, the directions said soak your wood chips in water. And I didn't know the difference. This is before I learned myself. So I did. And the the smoke had a real bitter taste. I had a hard time getting them going. And so my adjustment after that was just to don't even wet them. Dry wood chips or dry wood.
hmm Yeah. I saw this, I don't know who it was. It was a gentleman, probably I got lost in the world of YouTube looking at offset smokers, stick smokers, and how that they, started the fire towards the back of the burner and then kept their wood in the front so it was super dry when they put it on there and it burned easier. And so
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing because I'm not the best at the offset yet, but I'm getting there. So,
I've I recommend for the starter,
hmm
the novice, to get an offset stick burner
hmm
because the fact you have to nurse it, you have to pay attention to temperatures inside and outside.
yeah.
And once you learn to do that, everything else just falls into place.
hmm Yeah, I agree with you. It's I didn't start off with it. I started off with a pellet. My wife got it for me, and I still have it. I still use it with everything else I have in my arsenal now. But
Yeah,
that's when really barbecue. I started to really understand the process. Is when I
yeah,
started like on a stick smoker and
yeah.
everything. How there's so many little things, and you really have appreciation for gentlemen like you that have been doing it and know how to do it so well. And so it's like the amount of knowledge you have, and I know it comes through trial and error, but
Yeah.
it's a deep appreciation for that for sure. And so,
Um, Another thing that I would recommend for the novice is to read up on it, listen to what everybody says, step outside the circle and form your own opinion.
oh,
Because if you screw up, you know what you did. You don't, when you smoke, you don't want to be like everybody else. You want to be original. You
hmm
want to stand out.
yeah,
And that's why I say step outside the circle and look in and form your own opinion.
hmm yeah. That's great advice, Tony. That's really good advice. Really good. I never thought of it that way. That's
Yeah.
excellent advice for our listeners. Thank you. So you've been doing this for a while. So, and you kind of explained a little bit, but what kind of grills and smokers do you have in your arsenal at home?
I started out with a char griller stick burner,
Mhm.
and it was the absolute worst. It would leak like a sieve. I had to nurse that like a sick child. but it taught me about temperature and patience and how much wood to put in and at what time. So now as I'm getting older, things in my life are changing. I I have two electric grills.
Nice.
See,
Nice.
I don't have that char griller anymore.
Hmm.
So a lot of people call it easy bake oven. You set it and forget it.
Hmm.
So that's
No, I have one. I have a pellet grill
yeah,
and a pellet smoker. I added to it. It could add to it, added section to it, stuff, and it is. But it taught me to really. I kind of did it in stages, and it really taught me about the process. And then when I got to that stick smoker, my students made me a stick smoker in their
uh-huh,
fabricating class. It's phenomenal, and
yeah,
but it took me a while to learn how to use it. But then I really understood, and now like if I have the time, I'm stick. If I don't have
yeah,
the time, I go to the pellet or I have a Weber Smoky Mountain. I will use that too as well. And
right.
yeah, but and the thing is, it's all about the flavor and all about, what's easiest for you too as well, what you're comfortable with. So,
A lot of people say you don't get as much smoke with a pellet grill.
mhm.
Problem solved. Amazon has what they call a smoke tube.
Yes.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm using mine right now because I'm curing bacon. I'm smoking bacon.
Hmm.
And that smoke tube, if you fill it right and light it properly, you'll get 5 hours. A 12-inch smoke tube will give you about 5 hours of extra smoke.
Yep. I used
So
my smoke tube I did a brisket on Friday. I put it on super early Friday morning, like at 3 a.m. And I used that smoke tube and I got a good 5 hours extra smoke on out of that. That's a game changer.
how long did it take to do your brisket from start to the time you actually sliced it?
Well, I see it took me, I went at 250 as a smaller brisket now. So after it was a 12 pounder, after I trimmed it, is probably, about closer to 11. Um, and when I went on and I was 11 hours at 250. I wrapped it at 160. I think it was what 163. I
Yeah,
had throughout and I wrapped it and then I just let it go. And then once I had three probes in it and I had one probe at 205 and one probe and the other two are 203. I took it off. I heated up a cooler, put in the cooler for 3 hours.
yeah, that's about right.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I tell you what, it was the best. I think I posted it on the group page. It was the best. I've done a lot of brisket. I catered a retirement party for some teachers of mine that they asked me to do it. I said I would, and that turned out great. But this was, it was
Oh,
phenomenal. So
yeah.
there's nothing
No,
like
you're
cutting into
not.
that brisket the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on here, Tony. So you've already given a lot of really good nuggets of advice. So my next question you might have already answered, so we can move on, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. What is some advice that you would give to our listeners that you wished you would have known when you started your journey through barbecue?
Nothing. You have to
Like,
in order to learn, you have to make mistakes.
yes.
Okay. Don't listen to what he said or what she said. You have to experience it yourself.
Hmm.
Um, take notes, temperatures, times,
Hmm.
what kind of wood, when you put the wood in,
Hmm.
and you can always go back to those notes.
Hmm. Yeah. I think the notes are huge. That's what I was told when I first started
Yeah.
6 years ago. And I have a notebook. It's almost full, and I just take notes, and go back to those.
I just going through this book. This is years and years ago when I was just learning.
Hmm.
These notes started at 5:30 in the morning and ended at 7 o'clock at night. Every single thing I did to it,
Yep.
including opening up the next beer.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because it's kind of like, whenever you start, you got to crack one no matter what time it is.
Sam Adams Boston Lager is the only way to go.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Uh,
Oh, let's see. Okay, so this one you probably I'm looking for this one here to hear answer. Is there a favorite tool or item that you recommend to our listeners that will make their backyard barbecue smoother or easier?
Tool or item?
Yeah.
No. Um, for winter time, get a welding blanket to
Yes.
cover your smoker.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my two smokers I have, well, make it easier. If you're, I honestly don't. I've got an umbrella that covers my smoker, so in the rain, it
Yep.
for once it's raining right now, and I've got a 10-foot umbrella over my smoker to keep away from it. No, I can't think of any tools. You have to learn the hard way.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's that's if you're going to be getting good.
Yep, I agree. But those are some good points you made, like the welding blanket. Definitely, you get it
Yeah,
for like 20 bucks off Amazon, 30 bucks,
yeah,
and that's because I smoke all year round, and that's been a huge game changer. But I took the old patio umbrella, and that's what I have over, like if I, whatever smoker I
yeah,
fire up, I just move it over to that. And I'm in the process of making my little own pit and stuff like that.
yeah.
And I just have the umbrella and it works great, but you got to keep the smoker dry as you can. So
Yeah. Okay.
let's see. Moving on to our next one. What is your go-to temperature for low and slow? And is there, I know, any advice to help maintain that temp?
Oh, oh, my sweet spot is 225 degrees.
Yeah.
Some people go 250, some people get in a rush and go 275. You're smoking meat. Take your
Mhm.
time.
Yep.
Bring the temperature down.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a 225 to
Yeah,
250, somewhere in there, always. And that's one th nice thing with the pellet. I just put it at 225, but it fluctuates a little bit, usually 20 degrees here or there. And so yeah, that's a good temp. I like 225 to 250 just. And the thing is, I always tell people too, you can't don't set a time to eat. You just don't
no,
know. The meat's going to
just
do what they
party
want to do.
until it's time to eat. Right.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment. That's all.
Hmm.
What type of pellet grill do you have?
I have a pit boss.
Okay.
Hmm.
Pit bosses are known to fluctuate plus or minus 20.
Yep. Hmm.
I
Yeah.
have a Z grills.
Okay.
I
Yes.
have I have two of them. A smaller one for smaller cooks and a bigger one that will go up to 400, 500 degrees.
Hmm.
The smaller one I got is dead nuts, 225 from start to finish.
Hmm.
The bigger one will fluctuate plus or minus 20 degrees.
Okay.
So I use the smaller one all the time.
You're dead on. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what I read too, the pit boss, and his pit boss has been good to me. I added
yeah,
the side chamber, another chamber to it too as
yeah,
well, which is always like 25 to 30 degrees cooler than the main chamber,
yeah,
and stuff like that. That's okay. But like if I'm doing a side, I'd throw it in there and it works out well, get more room. Because I got a
yeah.
mid-size pit boss, and but it's been 6, 7 years old. I haven't had one problem with it. It's been
No,
going strong, so. I know, I think now they may be overseas now, but Pit Boss, but it wasn't made in America when I bought it.
they're
But
they're in China now.
yeah. Hmm.
And Z grills the same way. They started out in the United States and they sold out to China.
Hmm. Do you see that? This is off topic, but do you see that promotion Z Grills is running, where if you buy a new Z Grill, you get a new one every 5 years. You have to pay shipping. That's it.
No, I did not.
Yeah. Because my buddy has a Z grill and he really likes it.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Hey, Z, if you want to get a bigger one, Z Grill's running this promotion." And I went and it's legit. So you buy a grill and you get the newer version every 5 years of that grill.
All you gotta do is pay shipping.
All you have to do is pay shipping. Yep. I'm like, "Oh,
Wow.
yeah." I'm like, "Ooh." My wife looked at me, she's like, "Don't think about it." But I'm like, well, how do you not, All right. So
Okay.
talking about temperature for low and slow, see. So is there any, I always talk, it's fascinating because I like to find these like little places, like when I go to North Carolina, we went off the beaten path, and it looked like this garage that was run down, but it was this great smokehouse that had some great barbecue there. So is there a barbecue like location anywhere that you've been that it was just like out of this world, or somewhere maybe that you'd like to go that I haven't been to already in the barbecue
Yeah,
world?
yeah. A mile and a half away from me, it's called Bud's Smokehouse, and they sell smoked food there,
Hmm.
ribs and all that, and they have uh, brick oven smoked pizza. Oh, I'm sorry, it's called Bad Brad's.
Bad Brad's, all right.
Okay, and I really want to go there and try their smoked brick oven pizza
Hmm.
because the crust is supposed to be real crunchy. I just got to do it. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well, it seems like you got your smoker fired up all the time, so it's probably
Yeah.
hard to get away. Yeah, I love those like this there's little places where you just find it's just like, oh, they're so good. And I
Yep.
whenever I travel anywhere now, I'm looking for somewhere to go and
Yep.
somewhere like that I can it might be off the beaten path and things like that. So awesome. So what was it
Okay.
called? It was called Brad's, was it?
Bad Brad's.
Bad Brad's. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm I have to maybe if I'm over in Michigan, which is just across the lake, I have to see if I get over there and check that out. But if I'm over to your way, I got to come and meet you in person. So
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely.
so our last part here, Tony, is I
Okay.
call it kind of the sizzle round, where I give you these like quick questions here, and it's just like one word answers, or if it's longer than that, that's fine.
Let's roll
But
with
just
it.
kind of like some different things we end with, and I do this with all whoever's on the podcast, whether doesn't matter. I just like to do the sizzle round, and I go back and I take notes on it and stuff like that because it's you get some really good information and kind of like a lightning round, I guess. So.
Okay.
All right. So, Tony, all right, sizzle around your first question. Your favorite, you kind of already answered this. So, I'm going to go to the next one. You answered it's a favorite cut of meat, but you said ribs already. So, your go-to rub for barbecue.
Store bought is Jack Daniel's Old Number 7 for pork.
Okay.
You can't get any better than that. And I've tried a lot of store boughts.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a recipe of my own that I formulated over the past 10 years or so, but it
Yep.
takes a lot of ingredients. I just haven't gotten around to making it yet.
Oh yeah, you might have to
I mean,
sell
I've
that,
made
Tony.
it several times. I just haven't made it recently.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. We can start bottling that up and selling it.
Yeah.
Let's see. The best side dish that you prepare on the smoker.
On the smoker, I don't do side dishes on the smoker.
Oh, okay.
No, I
So,
do not. But my favorite side dishes is definitely potato salad and coleslaw
oh yeah.
and Mexican corn.
Oh, I love the Mexican corn. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Yes. I've been fooling around with that, and that's what my wife's favorite thing now on the
Yeah.
smokers. And I smoke the corn and just cut it off the cob. It's phenomenal.
But I do want to try chocolate chip cookies in the smoker.
Ooh.
Somebody in the group made homemade chocolate chip cookies and they actually cooked them in the smoker. So
I'm intrigued.
yeah, yeah, and I've got to get back with that person and find out what temperature they did. I'm sure it was 225. I don't know
Yeah.
what temperature and how long.
Yeah. Oh,
That
I'm intrigued.
that'll satisfy my sweet tooth.
Yeah, that I know. I have sweet tooth really bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm intrigued. That was good. This is why I love
Okay.
doing the sizzle round. Favorite barbecue sauce?
Stubbs is probably tops on my list.
Hmm. Nice.
What I've been doing lately is cheating quite a bit. I've been using 2 bottles of open pit barbecue sauce
Hmm.
mixed with 1 bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's,
Hmm.
and then put in some cayenne pepper.
Nice.
Now the reason behind that is the open pit has a good vinegary taste,
Hmm.
and the Sweet Baby Ray's has that sweet taste.
Hmm.
So you get a good mix of sweetness and vinegar with the cayenne pepper will kiss your breath at the end.
I love
And
that description.
right now for me, I'm satisfied with that.
Oh, that's good. I love that. Kiss your breath at the end. That's
Yeah, oh, it
phenomenal.
does.
That is so awesome. Oh, so what is your preferred like wood to smoke with?
Cherry,
Mhm.
Michigan, because it's a mild smoke.
Mhm.
Right now for the bacon, I'm using maple
Mhm.
for the flavor, but cherry is a good all around mild smoke flavor.
Yeah, I agree. I love cherry. That's what I use.
Yeah.
My daughters, my wife like the milder smoke, and that's what I use all the time is cherry. Yep, that's so good. I'll throw some apple in there too as well. So,
Yeah,
and I started toying around too with the Royal Oak charcoal pellets too to mix in with that a little bit, and so that's
I
been
never
yeah, it's
never
been a
used
good
that.
flavor. It's been really
I
good.
okay.
Yep. So favorite beverage to have while you're smoking?
Sam Sam
Sam,
Adams Boston Lager,
love it,
all
love
the
it.
way,
Yeah,
all the way. No, nothing else.
yeah, that's a good beverage. That's a good
Yeah.
beverage. Yeah, that's a good one. And the last one, and some people don't, some people do, but is there preferred music or band or anybody or artist you like to listen to while you're smoking?
80s rock and roll, all the way.
Yeah. There's a
Yep.
Pandora station, um, 80s barbecue station, and I'll throw
Uh-huh.
that on. I always go between that and country and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. Awesome. Well, Tony, that wraps up our questions here. Is there anything
Okay.
that you like to add to before we sign off here?
Take your time. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy what you're doing, and everything will fall into place. That's it.
Yeah, it's great advice not only for barbecue but for life. You
Yeah.
know, it
Yeah.
is. It really is. And Tony, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I can't thank you enough for starting the group, Smoking Barbecue. If you're not a member of it and you're listening, go to Facebook, become a member. The knowledge of and the people, genuine people in the group. And
Yeah.
everyone's sharing. No one's out for anything else or showing anybody up or anything. It's just a general sharing of knowledge of the barbecue world. It's the reason I started this podcast and the reason that I hit Tony up right away when I put it out there and he contacted me is because it's just like the group you have, Tony. It's just good people sharing barbecue and sharing their secrets and what they find out. There are no secrets. Everyone it just gets better and enjoys like you said, enjoys the process.
Yeah. It's a
So
pleasure being with you, and
yes.
I thank you very much.
No, I look forward to hopefully now I'm originally from Upper Michigan, but and so I've been down your way before. So but I will we'll talk about that after we get off the air here.
Okay.
And but hopefully maybe we can do something in person. That'd be great to do something together
Yeah.
sometime,
Yeah.
and things like that. So it's always fun to get together with people and just barbecue. So
Right.
with that being said, Tony, we always end our podcast with the tagline "Smoke on." So if you wouldn't mind, if you will, just go ahead and say "Smoke on," and we will sign off here.
Smoke on, smoking barbecue.
I love it. Awesome. Let's see.